A partition wall adds a whole new dimension to your basement, creating new rooms and making the space more comfortable to live in. A well-built frame is the key. It's relatively easy to do with the right tools and some basic know-how. Your first step is to establish the length of the wall you're going to build. Measure the distance from an existing wall. Then use a chalk line to snap a straight line on the floor. You'll lay the bottom plate of the new wall along this chalk line. Use 2x4s to form the top and sole plate of the wall, or 2x6s if your new wall will hold large plumbing pipes. Clamp the top and base plates together so your measurements and cuts are equal at the top and bottom of the wall. Cut the two plates to the length of your wall. Keep the plates clamped together to measure the distance between each stud that you'll install. The studs should be 16 inches apart on center. Since your studs are 1.5 inches thick, mark 3/4 of an inch on either side of your center mark and use a framing square to draw exactly where your stud will join the plate. Now, to figure out the height of your studs. Measure the distance between the floor and the ceiling or joists at several spots along the chalk line. Subtract the thickness of your wall plates from the distance between the ceiling and the floor so that you get an accurate measurement of the height of the studs. Count the layout marks on the wall plate to know how many studs are needed. Before you cut, sight down the edge of each stud. Wood will often have some bend or arch in it, called the crown. Place your two straightest stud lengths at each end of the wall with the crown up. Lay out the wall frame on the floor, placing the remainder of the studs at the 16-inch intervals you marked on the top and base plates. Start by screwing the top plate to the end studs. Then, screw the remaining studs to the top plate before attaching the base plate to complete the wall frame. Time to raise the wall into place. Position the bottom of the frame on the chalk line you snapped along the floor. Use a level to ensure the wall is vertically straight. If you find there's a slight gap between the wall frame and the ceiling or joists, place shims between the gaps, cutting the shims with a utility knife. As you screw the wall to the floor and ceiling joists, use a level along the edge of each stud to ensure the wall remains straight throughout. With your partition wall frame in place, you're ready for drywall and well on your way to completing your basement project.